Chapter 11, The Perfect Bait. 3 stalkers. 2 of them are men from your Special Intelligence Division. What about the other one? Could he be a member of the Dawn Salvation Trader Organization? Whether or not the last stalker is from the Dawn Salvation Trader Organization, my suggestion is to take down the 3rd stalker who is unaccounted for to remove the threat. Zhou Sheng's expression turned a little complex. He looked toward Colonel Liu Tianhu, then turned his gaze toward Zhao Saxui and said, "Professor An, my suggestion is that we maintain the status quo." He waited for a reaction. When there was none, he continued, "The 2 special agents we sent out can guarantee the safety of the student called Zhu Tui." And Zhao Saxui raised her brow. "What do you mean? We discovered a suspected member of the Dawn Salvation Trader Organization but are not taking action. What do you guys want to do?" And Zhao Saxui was extremely intelligent. She immediately reacted when she saw how Zhou Sheng stammered, "Bait." Ang Shaoxu suddenly slammed her hands on the table and stood up. "Division Captain Zhou, you sure have the guts. To think that you would dare to joke around with the life of a student from the Wuxia Genetic Evolution College. Allowing a student who had activated 14 genetic base points as bait. Who permitted it? Who's going to be responsible if something really happened? Based on my knowledge, you don't have that kind of authority, do you?" The division captain of the Jincheng Prefecture Special Intelligence Division, Zhou Sheng, was a little conflicted. It caused the gazes of everyone present to fall on the division captain of the Special Intelligence Division, Zhou Sheng. Just as Zhou Sheng was forced into a corner, Colonel Liu Tianhu, who was sitting at the main seat of the meeting room, spoke, "I approve the plan. Do you have any objection, Professor N?" These children who had just completed the genetic exams do not have any means of self-defense yet. And Zhao Xu's words seemed to have triggered a reaction. It instantly caused Colonel Liu Tianhu to stand up and stare at Zhao Saxui with a sinister expression. "Professor An, you are right. I do want to obtain a military contribution. I do want to be promoted and become a general," he shamelessly admitted. "However, this does not come into any conflict with the plan. We have already sent special agents to tail and protect the bait we chose. We have also come up with a comprehensive action plan. It will guarantee the safety of the bait to the greatest extent. Also, we did not proactively decide to use Zhu Tui as bait. Instead, it is because our informants had discovered that Zhu Tui was being targeted by the members of the Dawn Salvation Trader Organization beforehand. Hence, the Special Intelligence Division immediately sent special agents to protect Zhu Tui. Then are you not going to apprehend the stalker immediately?" And Zhao Saxui asked. "That would alert the enemy. Also, we want to take advantage of the fact that Zhu Tui has been targeted." Taking advantage? Largest extent, what if there's an accident? And Zhao Saxui did not avert Liu Tianhu's gaze. "Accident?" Liu Tianhu laughed coldly. "There will be no accidents. We have come up with an ample number of contingency plans. Those are enough to deal with any emergencies. We have even considered extreme cases like the bait being abducted out of the city within our contingencies. Of course, there's nothing we can fully control in this world. I will take responsibility if there are any accidental deaths." Her eyes widened, and she glared at the colonel. However, without waiting for Zhao Saxui to say anything, Colonel Liu Tianhu's next statement completely quelled the matter. "Let me remind everyone present. The entire Wuxia, including the Jincheng Prefecture, have entered Level 2 wartime preparatory status 3 days before the start of the genetic exams. Currently, wartime provisions are in effect in the Jincheng Prefecture. Anything that involves safety and the genetic exam will be decided by the Jincheng Prefecture Preparatory Defense Force." Colonel Liu said that he was reminding everyone, but he was actually directing those words at Zhao Zhu. And Zhao Saxui bit her lips. Wartime provisions. That was not something a professor from the Wuxia Genetic Evolution College like her could object to, not even if she was from the mystery branch. "Professor An, do you understand?" Liu Tianhu asked her loudly. He pressed his advantage when he saw Zhao Saxui showing signs of weakness. "Understood." And Zhao Saxui bit her lips and slowly sat down. "Division Captain Zhou, please tell the 2 idiots that you sent out to pay more attention. To think that they would be noticed by a 3rd-year student. Could they be more stupid?" Liu Tianhu's words caused Special Intelligence Division Captain Zhou Sheng to grimace. However, Zhou Sheng did want to kick his to subordinates if they were present. They had been in the Special Intelligence Division for many years and were both genetic liberators. However, they were noticed even though they were just tailing a student. Then I guess I should not reply to him, and Zhao Saxui said. The corner of Zhou Sheng's lips twitched. Zhu Tui realized he was being tailed. He asked in Zhao Saxui for help. If in Zhao Saxui stopped replying midway, who knew what would happen after that? An 18-year-old student could do something completely illogical out of fear. He might even have a peculiar reaction. There would only be one outcome if that situation happened. There would be countless complications to the operation which might even result in failure. That was not something Zhou Sheng was willing to see. Even more so, that was not something Colonel Liu Tianhu was willing to witness. Zhu Tui was a mystery branch student who had technically activated 14 genetic base points. However, his genetic base points were a relatively weaker enlightened mind type. They had spent a great deal of effort in selecting such a bait. What's more, someone had taken the bait in less than half a day. They were just waiting for the target to bite, and they would be able to take it from there. Placate him, but you must not reveal the plan, Colonel Liu Tianhu immediately decided. This is a reply that you, Colonel Liu, approved. I did not go against the confidentiality clause, and Zhao Saxui clarified. She first absolved herself from all blame, then quickly tapped on her communication device and input a message. However, she did not send the message out immediately. Instead, she displayed the message for all to see. I am in a meeting. Don't disturb me if there are no emergencies. Will this do? And Zhao Saxui asked as she pointed at the projection. It worked very well to placate the student. It's fine, Colonel Liu Tianhu agreed. And Zhao Saxui tapped on the button to send the message. The interface showed that the message had been sent. She returned to her seat and did not say anything more. That was all she could do. She hoped that the boy's luck would not be too unfortunate. Zhu Tui was still very happy when he read the message. He did not expect there to be special agents from the Special Intelligence Division, an organization that he had only seen on the news, protecting him. This meant that he had been taken seriously by the government. They even specially sent someone to protect him. However, the logic in Zhu Tui's head flowed clearly. He soon noticed a problem. The two special agents were here to protect him. Then why were they not attempting to eliminate the other unknown stalker who was said to be dangerous? However, they did not do anything. Furthermore, and Zhao Xu's reply was also very weird. She asked him to pay attention to his safety. Television dramas and novels all show that people who are sent to protect someone else would often nip the threats in the bud. They would often thoroughly investigate the threat and immediately eliminate it, no matter where the threat is from, Zhu Tui contemplated. A situation like this where no action is taken despite the threat being identified usually means a bait. FCAC, Zhu Tui, who had arrived at that conclusion, felt as though a million wild horses were racing through his heart. A genius like him who activated 14 genetic base points was being used as bait. Zhu Tui felt that his deduction was 70% to 80% right. Zhu Tui felt his heart turn cold. An unprecedented sense of crisis enveloped his heart. Do I spend a few days at the police department until school starts? Zhu Tui asked himself. That was the most cowardly option. However, it was also extremely difficult for the plan to succeed. The police station was not a place he could stay in just because he wanted to. Furthermore, Zhu Tui felt that since he was chosen as bait, he would be thrown out of the police station even if he went there. The authority of the Special Intelligence Division was much greater than the police department. His other options had even more variables and were much more dangerous. Even more so, he could not bring the threat back home. He had to save himself. He had to resolve this current state of crisis. Zhu Tui's mind turned wildly. He analyzed any variable he could use and the possibility of every course of action. At this moment, Zhu Tui's 3 stalkers were not far away from him. He bit into the chicken, crunch. Zhu Tui didn't find the chicken delicious. He could conclude that these 2 people were the special agents that the Special Intelligence Division had sent to protect their bait. He could use them. Soon, Zhu Tui decided on a course of action. His heart beat anxiously. He was nervous but also excited. Calm down. I have to be calm. Zhu Tui tried using the breathing technique he used in his meditation. He breathed in through his nose and out through his mouth. He tried to drag the breaths for as long as possible. It only took him a few breaths to collect himself. Not only did he calm himself down, but the 3-meter area around him became clearly reflected in his mind. A cup of hot vanilla milk tea. I want the hottest one you have. He quickly added, please use the water that you have just boiled. My girlfriend needs it. The attendant observed Zhu Tui with a strange gaze. Boiling water? Joy want to burn your girlfriend's tongue so that she quits drinking bubble tea? However, the attendant did as she was told. After fetching over the bubble tea, Zhu Tui turned around and pulled off the cover of the cup containing the drink. He smelled the hot tea and felt its heat. He then walked back, keeping close to the queue. Soon, he got close to the middle-aged man who had bought the fried chicken alone just now. That man was the stalker with unknown origins. Sensing the area with his full concentration, Zhu Tui suddenly got a strange sensation coming from the middle-aged man's body. This middle-aged man's legs and nose gave him the feeling that they were exceptionally active. Is he a genetic liberator? Zhu Tui amused. An unknown genetic liberator was observing him. There was definitely a problem. Zhu Tui hesitated no longer.